All right. Doing this on a throwaway account because I know my son browses Reddit nonstop. So a few days ago, I was performing a routine check of my 14-year-old son's computer. I know that may sound a bit strict or oppressive to some of you, but if you haven't had kids before, keep this in mind. A 14-year-old is still too young to be making all of his own decisions about what he sees on the internet. He has a right to live in my house, and I will feed him and take care of him. But as a parent, I have no obligation to allow him to browse the internet without some level of supervision. Anyway, I was looking through his recent downloads to see what he'd been looking at, when I noticed a new folder. I hadn't noticed it before because it was hidden inside of his Cool Pictures folder. My son wants to be a photographer when he gets older. The folder was titled Cooler Pictures, and something about it threw the mom radar into overdrive. I opened it, and inside were some of the most disgusting photos I've ever seen. Imagine those old pin-up posters of women from the 50s, but add a coat of fur, some whiskers, and a tail. Yeah, every picture was like some kind of animal girl, like a lion or cat girl, or I swear there was even a shark girl in there. Obviously I was appalled. I'm not okay with me son looking at regular porn, let alone this. So I knew I had to confront him, but I didn't want to do it alone, since I don't feel safe doing that. For context, my son is bipolar and has on more than one occasion caused some serious damage to the house, or even threatened to hurt me. He's getting older now, and he's already getting tall just like his dad. He dwarfs me at this point, and honestly I'm afraid if he ever has a tantrum and tries to attack me, I may not be able to defend myself. That's why I feel the need to confront him when more people are around. His dad is currently on a business leave in China, so he's out of the picture for the time being. The only idea I had was a birthday party he had coming up with his friends. I knew he would never freak out like that in front of them, as that would be too embarrassing. I didn't want this occasion to damper the rest of the party, so I decided to do it right at the beginning. For context, I've always been told growing up that it's best to get tough things out of the way first so we can forget about them. Listen to your grandmas, guys. They have great advice sometimes. Anyway, once all of his friends sat down in the living room to play video games, I confronted him. I pulled his laptop out and showed the disgusting pictures to him and all of his friends, and demanded to know why he was looking at images like that. He screamed and tried to slam the laptop closed on my hands. His friends were laughing harder than I've ever seen them laugh before, and even his best friend Tommy was struggling to hold back a grin. After he tried to slam the laptop closed on my hands, I was worried he may have broken one of my fingers, so I screamed in pain, even though I wasn't sure I was feeling any pain yet, and slapped him in the face. For context, I have some past trauma, so I tend to scream and have a flight or fight reaction any time I feel a sensation that I think might have hurt me. He recoiled and fell over from me slapping him, and I then destroyed his laptop by throwing it out of the window and into a rainy puddle outside. At this point, his friends were howling, and even though I could start to tell my finger wasn't really that hurt, the fact that he had put me through the trauma of feeling the anxiety about being hurt in the first place was enough for me to lash out. I could see at least one kid with his phone out texting, presumably telling more of his friends about this situation, but I knew there was one flaw here. While this was funny to them in the moment, they may over time sympathize with him if they feel he doesn't deserve the scorn. So, I needed to give his friends the fuel to mentally justify their disdain for him, so that they could fully take advantage of the embarrassment I've given him. I cried out that he had broken one of my fingers. I know that was a lie, and this is the one thing I do feel a little guilty for. I fell to my knees and cried out that he had broken my finger, tears streaming down my red, hot face. For context, I used to do school theater and I was the best in my class because I knew how to fake cry. Immediately his friends rushed to my side to help me. It felt nice for a second to feel cared about, especially since my husband is away in China. So while I should have come clean then, I was mentally weak at the time due to needing to feel that affection. They comforted me, and I opened up to them. I told them about how my son hurts me all the time, and mournfully barked out through tears that I just wanted to have a happy family again. I pretended to splint up my finger, while my son sat in the corner of the house and sobbed. His friends now had every reason to hate him, and with his friends gone, my son will be wanting his laptop more than ever. Too bad I destroyed it, huh? Yeah. I like petty revenge sometimes. So, Am I the asshole here? I genuinely feel like I was just doing everything right in this situation, but some bad luck led to it going badly. I do understand it ended quite bad for him, but that wasn't my intention, and I feel like my actions themselves were kinda justified. Edit. Okay, because some people don't get it, I need to add a little more context. So, for context, my son is an evil murderer. He kills children, and when that tires him out, he comes home and makes fun of me for my trauma. He gaslights me into believing that he isn't evil and doesn't kill children. He has 5 rape convictions, and actually none of that happened, because what really happened was he attacked and hurt me for no reason. Do you really think I'm the asshole if I got attacked and hurt for no reason? Update. Finger is doing a lot better, guys. It's completely healed now, and I want to thank you guys for your support in getting me through this tough situation. So, biggest thing here. My son's dead now. He killed himself with a gun he stole from his dad's cabinet. Shot himself right in the mouth. He fucked up the aim, so he kind of just blew his jaw off. You should have seen the look on his face when he realized he wasn't dead. Those big, wide eyes as he saw himself from his full body mirror in the corner of his room, jaw flapping and hanging down his chest. Fucking idiot can't even kill himself right. I can tell he regretted his decision, too. Could see him scrambling to grab at his jaw and push it back up onto his face. Probably wishing to whoever he believed in that what just happened didn't actually just happen. Pretty soon after that, I think he realized it was real. Saw those big eyes go dim and lidded. Not dead eyes, just dim. Believe me, those eyes still had thought behind them. They thought, why? Why did I do this? I'm gonna die now. This isn't what it was supposed to feel like. I could have fixed my life. I could tell that was exactly what was going through his head in those last moments, as he slumped onto the floor in a pool of blood so big you could play in it. I'm doing much better, though. I'm really glad you all helped me.